what is your sort of opinion? This has kind of been a work in progress for a long time. You were obviously the start of sort of this whole motion here. So what sort of thoughts go through your mind when you hear that this thing is now starting to gain some traction and we're actually getting somewhere?
Well, I have dreamed of reading what Judge Kavanaugh had said today for the past almost 2 decades, that student athletes are the product on the field, that if you remove them, all the revenue goes away, that the NCAA is not, in fact, above the law, which I think anybody who's been fighting for student athlete rights has been saying for decades. So I was really encouraged to hear that. So amateurism as we know it is dead. It's over, and we're never coming back. And so we all have to get ready and embrace this new chapter of college athletics where student athletes own their own name, image, and likeness.
How would this have affected you back when you were playing and you were fighting for these issues? How would this affected you?
Oh, this would have been a dream for me. I mean, this is even more than what I was asking for. At the time, I was an Olympic skier. I was the #1 ranked skier in the world, and I was a freshman on the football team. And I just wanted the NCAA to allow me to own my own name, image, and likeness in skiing, not football. But now, in today's world, student athletes are going to be able to monetize their quote unquote amateur sport, which mine would have been football. So, of course, if I would have entered the system, today I could have skied and played football, and I would have been able to play my junior and senior season at the University of Colorado, which the NCAA stole from me, and I'll never get those memories back. But my fight for this cause has always been much larger than myself.
Yeah. You said something a couple minutes ago. Amateurism is kind of dead as we know it. It's in the past now. There's going to be a different definition of that, right? What do you say to people that say athletes, college athletes, amateur athletes shouldn't be getting these things? They shouldn't be getting paid or whatever. What do you say to those people?
I would say to those people that respectfully, it's not up to you to decide who gets to make money in this country. That's not a right of a fan. So, fans say, well, I like college sports because they don't make money on the field. That may be your opinion, but you have no right to choose who makes money and who doesn't in this country. And I think if you flip the question on its head and said, well, do you get paid for your skills? Where do you work? Do you get paid for what you do? And of course, the answer is yes.
Yeah, and you mentioned this has opened the door for discussions down the road about future possible athletes' salaries and all that stuff. What would be the next step in terms of athletes getting a regular salary or sort of that sort of thing? Where do we go from here?
Yeah, the first big step is name, image, and likeness, because that collapses amateurism. So so we don't talk about amateurism anymore because that principle completely goes away. And so the next natural evolution of that conversation is, well, are these employees? And if they are employees, then they should get compensated for being on the field. There's also this false narrative for skeptical people who say, well, they get paid a scholarship. What a lot of those people don't understand is the NCAA does not pay for those scholarships, and most universities don't pay for them either. Scholarships are funded by an individual booster. Like, I was on scholarship at the University of Colorado. Roy Durbin was my scholarship donor. He paid for my school. And so there's this false narrative, well, they are getting paid by the NCAA and the school because they get a free ride. No, that's not the case.
Where do you go from here? You've been helping athletes for the last couple decades, trying to get this thing started. It is now started. Where do you personally go from here?
I don't know, maybe to the bar tonight to take a shot of tequila to celebrate this moment. I mean, this is a big milestone in this fight, and so I think it's worth celebrating. And, it wasn't just me. It takes a village to get here.